Yo, what's up guys? Kaz here from Performance Capital, and today I wanted to talk to you really quickly about why your diet is too overwhelming to sustain. Alright, we've got a few reasons why it's too overwhelming, and because we've just jumped out of the main holiday season, I thought this was an important topic for us to discuss. Alright, so let's take a look at a few other reasons. Reason number one, it's too much too soon. So the biggest problem is that you come off the back end of the holidays and you want to make a New Year's resolution or a massive change, and what you'll do is change too much too soon. And when you do that, sometimes it's really unsustainable, okay? It's really overwhelming because you've made way too many changes. You start going to the gym 5 times a week, you start changing all of the foods you're eating, you start cutting out things like sugar, carbohydrates, alcohol, and all this stuff becomes overwhelming because you're doing it for the last few weeks and now you've decided to stop it all at once. All right, this is called going cold turkey or too much too soon. And when you do that, you obviously get that overwhelming feeling, and it only lasts for so long, and you stop going to the gym and you stop all these good new habits that you've tried to form because too much too soon. All right, so that's reason number one. Reason number two is eating clean. All right, this is one of those ones that's thrown around quite a bit. I throw it around myself as well because I'm just one of those people that falls into the mix of, oh yeah, I'm gonna start eating clean now. But no one really knows what that means, because you know, eating clean to one person might mean something completely different to the next guy in terms of what their diet is and their approach is and what they allow to consume each day and all those different reasons. So I wouldn't use the saying, even go as far as to not using the saying, because you don't want to fall into the trap of thinking you're eating clean because you're eating certain meats or a little bit of vegetables, or you're dropping the buns off your burger but you're still buying a burger, you know? So little things like this. Eating clean doesn't change the calories without a plan, okay? If you're not changing the calories, you're trying to lose weight, you're not a calorie deficit, then you have a problem, all right? And we kind of fall into that trap when we think we're eating clean because some of the foods we've decided to change are a little bit better than our previous choices. But we need a better plan than that. Okay, so that's reason number two. And reason number three is that you've chosen an unsustainable long-term method. Now, I'm not gonna throw anyone down the drain in this video. I'm just going to say that the method you may have chosen falls under these two things of too much too soon, and I'm trying to eat clean now, and they're not long-term sustainable methods, okay? 3 months down the track, can you still see yourself doing the same thing as what you've chosen for yourself to do for the week that you're in? All right, if you can't feel that what you've chosen right now will be sustainable 3 months from now, then how are you going to be able to do it in a year's time? Because if you can't do it in a year's time, then it's basically you're going to fall back into that same boat of what you were doing before. And if you do the same things that you were doing before, they weren't working before and they won't work then either. All right, okay, so those are 3 reasons. There's so many other reasons as well, but I think these ones are most important. So what you want to do is try and follow these 3 reasons instead. All right, so our first reason is to create new fortnightly habits. So basically the reason we use this one instead, the reason we use such a long time to create a new habit is because it's quite difficult to create a habit that's going to stick in place and become sustainable in the long term. All right, you can do things like add water, cut sugar, add more vegetables, use lean meats, cut out carbohydrates. But if you try to use all 5 of those things in your very first week, like I said at the start, it's just too much too soon. All right, so instead of doing that, we just add one thing to start with. So usually what I do is tell people just start by focusing on what your water intake is. If you already have a really bad water intake, it's less than 1 liter per day, then just focus on getting it over 1 liter or close to 2 liters every single day for the next 2 weeks. All right, really simple, really easy, but once you capitalize on that and it starts to become a habit for you, then you don't have to worry about that one so much anymore. You can start focus on other things like your vegetable intake or the types of meats that you're eating or the carbohydrates, whatever it is. We need to use this long time and this long term to create those fortnightly new habits, to create those newfound habits. All right, our second reason that we try to focus more on now is prepping our food. All right, being more aware of what we're putting into our bodies and knowing what's coming up throughout the day, throughout the week. All right, if you can prep your food and if you can base it on the macros you need and the total daily calories that your body needs as well, in order to get to whatever your individual goal is, then you'll have a lot better success and your results will be faster as well, okay? Obviously, trying to work this in contention with the newfound habits as well, because if we try to change too much too soon, it never really works out in the long term. So trying to prep our food. Now this can be, if you're someone that just has a terrible diet and you're trying to lose weight, this can be something as simple as making sure you know what you're having for dinner every single night of the week, all right? And then you can capitalize the next week on making sure you know what you're having for dinner and what you're having for lunch, all right? So that already takes out 14 meals of the week if all you have is a normal lunch and a normal dinner, because you know what's planned and what's already got to be prepped, or what is already prepped if you're someone that's really onto it. And then you just take care of breakfast next if you're someone that's going to be eating breakfasts, or if you decided to fast, whatever it is that you decide, preparation is key, all right? So the next and final thing that I think is really super important is play the long game. Playing the long game is important because it means your results are going to be long lasting. You're going to sustain that new figure, you're going to sustain that new strength and all the new things that you've brought into your life, whether it's through diet or training itself. Right? And that's why it's really important to play the long game. You're not always going to lose the weight that you want to lose in those first 6 to 8 weeks. Yeah, it's a bonus if you do, and yeah, it's a bonus if you get the results really fast, but it doesn't happen to everyone. So you need to be understanding that the reason we choose long-term sustainable methods is because we want long-term sustainable results. Alright, so they go hand in hand with each other. Anyways, I hope this video has helped you guys. Make sure you check it out, create new habits, prep your food, and play the long game, man. Peace out, team.